Every photo I take pulls me closer to madness. I chased shadows, and they'd been chasing me back. I began taking photographs the way some people breathe, without thought, without pause, compelled by necessity. The city around me was gray and indifferent, streets slick with rain, windows reflecting neon like fractured mirrors. I had arrived only weeks ago, but already it felt like home, or a version of it, cold and faceless. My name is Clara. I am a photographer. And I see more than I should. The first time it happened, I was photographing the river that slices through the city like a wound. I framed the shot, pressed the shutter, and for an instant, the reflection in the water wasn't my own. It was someone else's, a pale face, eyes too dark, smiling at me. I lowered the camera, heart hammering. The river was empty. The bench nearby, where I had imagined someone sitting, was vacant. I told myself it was a trick of light, a shadow dancing across the ripples. But that night, I couldn't sleep. That face lingered in my mind, perched on the edge of every shadow. I returned to the same spot the next day. I had to see it again, had to capture it, understand it. Hours passed, rain washing the streets and the city's colors into muted watercolors. And then, a figure, far across the bridge. Standing still, as if waiting. The light caught the edges of her coat, hair black as spilled ink. I lifted the camera. Click. She vanished before the shutter even fully closed. Obsession begins quietly. It coils in your chest and whispers that you were chosen to witness something others cannot. I began following her, or the traces she left, through alleys, markets, under flickering street lamps. Every photograph I developed brought another fragment of her, but each frame was more distorted than the last. I stopped naming the streets. They were irrelevant. Time was irrelevant. All that mattered was capturing her, documenting what no one else could see. I couldn't stop photographing. My apartment filled with prints, hundreds of them, pinned to walls and windows. Some were clear, her face, blurred but unmistakable, some were abstract, shadows, half-formed reflections, eyes staring where none existed. I would sit for hours in the darkroom, breathing in the smell of chemicals, listening to the faint hum of the developing machines, wondering which image was real and which was my mind's projection. My friends, or the few I had, began to notice my absence. Calls went unanswered. I stopped returning messages. Everything revolved around the lens, the darkroom, the city, and her. The city watched me as I watched it. The streets whispered in static and fog. Sometimes, I swore I could hear her voice calling through the glass, faint as a note struck in the wrong key. One night, I developed a new roll of film, one I hadn't even remembered shooting. The photographs were chaotic, the city, the river, reflections. But one frame froze my blood. She was there, standing directly in front of me, eyes wide, expression calm, yet impossibly distant. She looked at the camera and, in that instant, looked through me. I fell back, nearly toppling the enlarger. My heart pounded in my ears. I wanted to tear the frame apart, erase it, burn it, but I couldn't. Something in her gaze rooted me to the floor. She wasn't alive. She wasn't there. And yet, she was undeniably real. Days and nights blurred. I stopped sleeping. The photographs multiplied faster than I could process them. Each one revealed more, corners of rooms I didn't recognize, faces in mirrors that weren't mine, objects out of place. I began wandering the city, camera clutched like a talisman, searching for the angles, the moments, the invisible. People stared, muttered, but I no longer registered them. I was beyond them, beyond myself. The streets were alive, whispering her name, beckoning me forward. I sometimes spoke to her. "Why are you here?" I whispered into the dark alleys, my breath clouding in cold air. Silence answered, but I imagined her reply, "You cannot see without me. You cannot breathe without me." I started photographing myself. I needed to understand if I, too, had changed, if the obsession had consumed me. The pictures were grotesque, fragments of my own reflection combined with her features, my eyes elongated, my hair streaked with darkness. The city, the camera, and the photographs merged into a single organism. I could no longer tell where Clara ended and the art began. The line between subject and observer, photographer and photographed, reality and illusion dissolved. One night, I followed a figure into a decrepit warehouse near the river. I could feel it before I saw it, that impossibly familiar presence. "Clara," it whispered. Or perhaps I whispered it. The figure turned. It was her. Or me. Or both. The eyes met mine, and in that gaze, I saw every photograph I had taken, every distorted frame, every blurred shadow. I saw the madness I had nurtured, the obsession I had allowed to grow, and the truth I had been avoiding. I was not capturing her. I was creating her. Every photo, every moment I had chased, had been a fragment of my own fractured psyche. She had never existed outside of the camera's lens. She was art. She was madness. She was me. I sank to the floor, camera clattering beside me, and laughed. The sound was jagged, hollow, and oddly comforting. For the first time, I recognized the beauty of my ruin. I had lost myself entirely, but in doing so, I had revealed something undeniably raw, painfully human. I tore the photographs from the walls, burned them one by one, watching the smoke curl toward the ceiling like ghostly fingers. With each frame, I felt a sliver of weight lift, yet with each flame, a piece of me vanished. By dawn, the apartment was empty, save for the faint smell of chemicals and soot. I stumbled to the window. The city lay before me, indifferent, gray, eternal. And I understood that my madness, my obsession, my art, it would remain, scattered in shadows, flickering in reflections, waiting for someone else to see what I had seen. I stepped back from the window and exhaled. I was free, and yet utterly destroyed. Weeks later, a gallery opened an exhibition titled Through the Lens of Silence. No artist's name appeared. The photographs were unsettling, abstract, haunting, glimpses of streets, shadows, reflections, and a single recurring figure, a pale woman whose face seemed impossibly familiar yet impossible to place. Visitors whispered, unsettled, as the images seemed to shift subtly when no one was watching. Some claimed to feel eyes on them from the frames. Others swore they saw the photographer herself, hidden somewhere in the dark corners of the gallery. Clara did not attend. She wandered the city instead, camera slung over her shoulder, searching for the next moment, the next shadow, the next glimpse of truth. Art had consumed her. Madness had birthed her. And in that spiral, she had finally understood that the two were inseparable, and that some obsessions could never be released.